What is up? Welcome back to the channel. I seriously appreciate you tuning in today. We're back here in my 2007 Nissan 350Z HR, and boy, do I have some updates for you. We've been working on the car kind of on and off all week, and we've made some improvements. I have to fill you in on some of the updates. I've been trying to diagnose that little like sputtering or lurching we're getting at low RPM, so we're gonna have a little clip on that from earlier this week. We've been trying to diagnose this like hidden check engine light, you could say. I'll talk about it in a little bit, but check this out. We got the HR 350Z right here, and then sitting in front of it is the rev up right now. This tree is all bloomed, which is pretty cool. It's leaving these little like white petals everywhere. But man, springtime has got to be my favorite time of the year. Anyways, let's go take this thing for a cruise. I got to start it up. Got my bike rack still on here. I'm gonna go this week. I'm gonna film it if you guys want to see it. So let's start this thing up, and then I'll kind of get into some of the updates we've made. Real quick before we start this thing, I have to show you under the hood. I was actually able to get the strut brace on. The only thing is it did not come with any bolts. So I had to take one of the bolts off of the rev up, and I actually have it in right here. And this thing is a little bit loose. It might bounce around a little bit, but we're not gonna go too fast. And it's just sitting there because I'm gonna head to the hardware store and see if I can get this bolt. I don't know if they're gonna have it, you know, in a washer just to put on these. And then this one back here is actually just the nut. So I don't really know. I went to O'Reilly's, I went to Home Depot, and I went to AutoZone last night. No one had this size of bolt, so I'm hoping either Hank's Hardware or Napa Auto Parts is gonna have it. It's like a metric thing, and I don't know, it's kind of a specific bolt to have. So I did see on Z1 Motorsports, they're like $5 a piece, and then the nut itself, the little nut that goes on that one, is $20 a side. So I'm gonna do whatever I can to not have to pay that, but if we have to, then we have to. I did not think it was gonna fit here just because of this, how close these intakes are to that bolt, but it looks like it's gonna be okay. So looking good. Sweet. Man, I'm not gonna lie, this thing sounds pretty awesome. I'm not the biggest one, like 100% huge fan of the single exit look. Like, I love how this has the dual tips on the back, so maybe, you know, we'll switch it to something with dual tips eventually, but for now it sounds pretty freaking good, I'm not gonna lie. My dad just got home. We're gonna head to Dave's Hot Chicken right now, and then we will continue the day. All right, so one thing, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't tell you guys, a second check engine light came on about a week ago in this thing. It kind of bummed me out, I'm not gonna lie, but we were able to go over to Affordable Automotive Repair, and they were able to scan the check engine light to see what code it was throwing. It was a completely different code from the first check engine light we got, which, I don't know, I was expecting it to be the same code. It was not. It's a new code now, so.
Flashback.
All right, here we are. Affordable Automotive Repair. All right, right down the street over here at Affordable Automotive Repair. They fixed the rev up like a month ago, so we're gonna see what's up.
Okay.
Yes.
So, looks like I don't really have much on there, but
All good.
O2 sensor,
Okay.
bang 2 sensor 1.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So he seems to think it's an O2 sensor of some sort, but if it's an air fuel ratio sensor, then it's gonna be a little bit more money to fix. Not quite sure. Oh, these cars, man, these cars.
End of flashback.
2 check engine lights in, what, like 3 weeks? I think that's a record for me, actually, I'm not gonna lie. Roll these up. So it was a pretty good thing we went over to Affordable Automotive Repair, because later that day I was driving home and I went to Ralph's over here to get like a sushi roll. They sell sushi rolls there. And when I went out to the car to start it up, it was completely dead in the water, like no power or anything, like not even dash lights, nothing. And when you're not getting any type of power whatsoever, it can only be a few things, and specifically probably the battery. So I went out to the battery, I wiggled the negative terminal, and I came back in, and sure enough, it started right up. So the negative terminal was a little bit loose, but I already had it fixed over at work. One of the guys I work with is pretty cool. He was able to work on it. Oh man, it's happening. This car, listen to this. I mean, I'm floored. It's in like limp mode. It doesn't happen right when we start the car. Like that whole time we were driving there, it doesn't do anything. But then once you let the car sit at idle for long enough, or it drops back down to idle for the 3rd time or something, it starts to act really weird. Like, yeah, like right now, I mean, it's not smoking, which is good, I guess, but like, I feel like if it was, you know, running super rich, it might be smoking at least a darker color for fuel. I don't know, but either way, it's not throwing a check engine light and it's not running correctly. So it's kind of like a hidden check engine light, to be honest. It took a few hundred miles for that one check engine light to come on, and it finally came on, and the day it comes on, I walk out to the car and it's dead in the water, and you know, it resets the computer, so the check engine light went away. And even right now, there's just no check engine light, so... Oh, see, right now it's running better. See, it just has to like figure out what's happening. It still doesn't feel 100%, but it's not as bad as it was there for a second. Okay, let's go. All right, had lunch. Went to Dave's Hot Chicken with my dad. They're giving free shakes if you leave a 5-star review on Yelp. So, although it's a little expensive, I had to leave a 5-star review. Oh man, this speed bump is terrible. Oh, it actually wasn't too bad. Oh, you hear that? This car is so weird. Oh my gosh. It runs fine. See, like that feels fine. This thing does sound pretty good though. Man, singing is so fun. When I do come to a stop after driving, all the wind catches up to us, I can smell like this. I mean, it really does smell like unburned fuel or something. I think it's gotta be that air fuel ratio sensor. So I've kind of been driving this thing around all week, waiting for this check engine light to come back on, and it just will not come on. Which most people would be like, that's awesome. Like, why would we want the check engine light to come on? But it's almost impossible to know or fix what is happening without the check engine light. But I will admit, I couldn't wait any longer, and I took what I learned from the video of the day we went to Affordable Automotive Repair. P2A03 was the code we ended up getting, and I've done a whole bunch of research, and that's bank 2 sensor 1, and bank 2 is the driver's side. So there's pretty much 2 O2 sensors on either side. So you have 2 on the driver's side, 2 on the passenger side. There's one before the cat, and then there's one after the catalytic converter. So bank 2 sensor 1 is actually the O2 sensor before the catalytic converter and not after. So I ended up ordering both O2 sensors for the driver's side because the one downstream of the catalytic converter was completely stripped. I'm just gonna play the clip of the entire thing happening here. And also we found out that this driver's side wheel was pretty messed up. It was actually missing the tie rod end bolt that connects it to the suspension. So
Flashback.
So with a huge change of plans, we're gonna attempt to put this in right now, and hopefully it works, honestly.
Did you buy the car like that or someone replaced it?
I bought it like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's all stripped.
It's stripped?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, God,
it's hot,
bro. Oh, man. All right, we're putting in the work. These guys are awesome, man. Mechanic shop right next door, which is pretty sweet.
Dude, you want to get some content? Yeah. Your tie rod's loose. Like, it has no bolt.
So I can't go 100 miles an hour?
Dude, you need to record that shit if you want some content on the channel, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I swear. Your outer tie rod, it's not even clamped on. It's
This is loose?
You better go get it content before he freaking...
He's gonna bolt it up for me?
Yeah.
No way. Yeah. I guess the tie rod's been completely loose. I gotta check this out. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. You think that's why it shakes when I go 90? Dang, man. All right, well. So the issue, it seems, is that the O2 sensor right now, the one that was in there, it might work, but it seemed like it was stripped. So basically we're attempting to put the new O2 sensor in, and hopefully it goes in there nice. If it doesn't, I might need a new cat or something. Or maybe it's just an excuse to take the cats off and go test pipes or something, but we'll see. Oh gosh. I was not really planning to film today, but like we ordered this O2 sensor from O'Reilly's and they delivered it within 20 minutes. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Bike rack. Dang, man. Whew. That thing is awesome.
End of of flashback.
So all that went down. Huge thanks to Renee and everyone over there helping me out with this thing, because, you know, it's got its fair share of problems. But this is that bolt we were talking about. I'm gonna take this off right now and see if I can just bring it inside and have them match it. So if that's the case, I really don't want to have to pay $5 a bolt and then $20 for the nut. And it would just be nice to have this extra rigidity. BRB. All right. So it was O'Reilly Auto Parts, Napa, AutoZone, and Lowe's. None of them had the right bolt. If you know what this is, let me know in the comments. I mean, they don't seem to have it whether we know what it is or not. It's a 14 mil, but I just don't know the thread. I think I saw like 1.25 or something, but it doesn't seem correct. Oh, I just remembered. We got to put that back on. So I don't know if you heard when we just started it up there, but it was still misfiring. So kind of continuing where I left off with the story, I ended up getting both O2 sensors. The downstream one was completely stripped, so we replaced that one, and then the upstream one, we actually ran out of time. It was like 5 o'clock. So that's the one that was throwing the code. We did not end up replacing the one that I think needs to be replaced yet. So Monday, that is what we'll be doing. So by the time you watch this, hopefully we'll have it fixed. I hope, at least. I'm not quite sure. Today's kind of just been a crazy video of running around doing updates and stuff like that. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a thumbs up if you did. Hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on what happens with this car. I really do want to get it fixed because I don't want to do a comparison between the Rev Up and the HR until this thing is running right, because I feel like it's just not fair to compare them against each other and this thing is not running in its 100% form. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you in the next video. Peace out.